welcome to another video. Today I am answering y'all's questions. It's a Q&A. Anyway, before I get started answering all these questions, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the 200 subscribers. We're at 201 now. But thank y'all so much for getting me this far, and I hope that at least one or two of my videos have made you smile. Anyway, let's go ahead and get onto these questions. Question number 1. What made you fall in love with making dad jokes? This is by something found on my Discord. Well, I love jokes, and I have this sense of humor that just goes perfectly with dad jokes, and it makes me smile, even though sometimes it'll make y'all smile but cringe at the same time. It's perfect. That's my sense of humor. I love it. Alright, the next question from the same person. Will you finally play a Colonel Mustard in your next Clue stream? I always play against Mustard. I beat him. I get Mustard. I do it. I beat him. But I do play against him. I may be Mustard eventually, but for now, I like beating him. This question is from Supernova, J Supernova. How many times do you eat Chick-fil-A a week? Ooh, on an average week, or I'd say on an average week, average-wise once a week, but there are weeks where I have it like 3 times a week. This week I've had it twice, so anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. Maybe 5 if they have the peach milkshakes. But anyway, we're moving on. The next question is from Column. How often do you sacrifice Zave? I do not sacrifice anyone, thank you very much. Nope. What is Gravity by Unbeatable? Well, I am so glad you asked, Unbeatable. Gravity is a force, which is a push or pull, that can cause a change in an object's motion. If you're looking specifically for gravity on Earth, it is 9.80665 meters per second squared. Or newtons, because it's force. Minecraft's gravity, however, is a little different, and it's a little strange, and I'm not gonna go there. Yep, not gonna go there. Anyway, next question. Why is suction not a real thing by Unbeatable? It is a real thing. Moving on. By something. Birthday? Question mark. I have a birthday. Yes. Is every day that ends in a Y your birthmas? By Column. Column, I am still surprised that this joke has gone on for as long as it has. It makes me laugh still. My answer is no. But your answer is going to be yes, either way. So I guess, yes, it is my birthmas. Alright, next question by something. Favorite restaurant to go to on a special occasion, like a birthday or reunion or whatever? Ooh, my favorite restaurant. It is a local one, so I'm not going to say it. But my second favorite, which is spread across a lot of places, is probably gonna have to be Olive Garden. My number 1 is an Italian food place, but it is local. They have the most delicious pink sauce tortellini you have ever tasted. It is amazing. Anyway, why did you decide to become my friend for real? By something. Well, for one, I like Friends, and 2, you're cool. And yeah. Alright, another question. How did you become a mod for Jerome? By something. Ooh, okay. So, this was a long time ago. Jerome was experimenting by streaming on Facebook. And his Facebook streams were very chill, unlike on his YouTube streams where his chat goes a million miles an hour. His Facebook chat was very, very chill, and his streams were chill. Wasn't as energetic, it was just a chill, grinding type streams. And I enjoyed that a lot. And so when I would go into chat, of course, at first I would just watch, I wouldn't actually chat. in the chat. But eventually I started to get more confident and I chatted and I would post jokes and then riddles. And so after a couple of streams, Jerome started to notice that I would put riddles in the chat, and so he would try to solve them. The chat would also be trying to solve them, but he would try to solve them too. And so with that positive stuff, he modded me. He's like, oh, do you have a YouTube? And I said yes, so I got modded on YouTube. It was also the same day I got Discord, so I also got modded on Discord. So I got modded on the ASF channel first, and then the ACE, and also in the Discord. All kind of happened at the same time. Yeah. By the same person, something. Favorite type of cookie. Ooh. There are so many good types of cookies. I would have to say that my favorite type of cookie is my mom's chocolate chip cookies fresh out of the oven. Those are the best. They melt in your mouth, and put that with some mint chocolate chip ice cream. Absolutely delicious. Alright, from something again, what is my favorite Pokemon? Ooh, my all-time favorite Pokemon is Krokorok, or Krookodile. I really like all three of those. Sandile, Krokorok, and Krookodile. I like the little sunglasses that they have on them. It's cool. It's very cool. Best starter Pokemon by simple username. Ooh, there are a lot of good starters. I think I'm gonna have to go with Totodile. He's just so cute. I love him so much. Alright, next question. By something. Favorite game currently? Game you want to try in the future? My favorite game currently probably has to be Clue. That one is one of my all-time favorites. And a game I want to try in the future. Oh, there are quite a few different games that I do want to try, but all of them have a very common theme. Mystery. Mystery type games. Yeah, I like mystery games. They're a lot of fun. I do like Minecraft too. That one's a fun game. Anyway, next question. What got you into different types of games, like Pokemon, or more recently, like murder mystery games like Clue or Tangled Tower by something? Ooh, okay. So when I was younger, my brother and I got 3DSs. Well, before that we had Leapsters, but we each got a 3DS, and one of my all-time favorite games to play on the 3DS was Pokemon XY. I loved that game. My brother loved it too. We would do battles against each other. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. My brother enjoyed it, and we would battle each other. We also collected Pokemon cards when we were younger. Now, for the mystery games, I love a good mystery. My favorite game has been Clue for a very long time, but my family doesn't particularly like it. The thing is, I wanted to get like the big version of Clue, but we got a travel size Clue, which the pieces are smaller than my fingernail. And the board is like the size of a hand. And so it is like tiny. And no one wants to play with that because it's so tiny. The cards are slightly bigger than the fingernail. So it's not exactly easy to play with. But I have always loved a good mystery. The only books that I would read in school would be like Sherlock Holmes or the Magic Treehouse. Those types of books. I enjoyed those a lot. I like the mystery genre. Next question. What made you get into singing? Was it choir class or band or whatever? By something. So, singing, I have always loved to sing. My mom is a singer, and so she would sing with my brother and I in the car. While we were watching VeggieTales, we would sing the songs. But what really drew my love for singing was choir. I was in choir in school, and I was one of the few sopranos who could actually hit the high notes, and that boosted my confidence and my love for singing a lot. And so I would just love to sing. Singing was one of my favorite things to do, hobby-wise, and singing is a lot of fun. Next one, what is your normal video and gaming routine by Jerry Berry? Ooh, normal video and gaming routine. So, first I come up with an idea, and with that idea, I kind of run with it. I'm like, ooh, that's a good idea. Like, for right now, I'm working on another Minecraft parody about the periodic table. Which some of you may be like, oh, that's why she built the periodic table in Minecraft. Yep, that's exactly why. I get this idea and I'm like, ooh, I would love to do that. And so, at least with the parodies, I choose a song to parody. I go with lyrics. I'm like, okay, so I'll listen to the song over and over and first get those chorus words and those lyrics and plug in and get the beats and see if it matches. Once I get from there and I have all the words, I go through and I sing it. If it doesn't work, I tweak it. I continue. And continue this process till I've solidified those words. Once I solidified those words, I get ideas on what to build. Because then it's the Minecraft part. If you haven't seen my Wellerman States of Matter parody, go check that one out. I use this same template for that. But once I get the words, I go in Minecraft, I'm like, okay, so what can I build with this? And so I get those ideas, I build them, and then it comes the part where I have to actually record it. And at least for the Wellerman parody, I had to build some black walls so that I could use it to transition. My transitions were okay in that video, but I will definitely be doing better in this next one because I know what to expect. But for my other content, I really just think of an idea, I do it. I do all of my ideas in one take, usually, and then when it comes to editing my stuff, if I didn't like my one take, I'll just edit out a little bit and work from there. But it's usually just straightforward. Think of an idea, follow through with the idea, go and make it work, actually record it, and then editing. Editing is a whole different process because editing takes a while. Alright, the next question. What is your dream job in the future? By something. Ooh, okay. So, dream job. I think it would have to be teaching students science through different resources of my favorite things. So, like Minecraft. So, pointing back to my Wellerman States of Matter parody, that is one of the things that I am proud of making, and it can actually be used to teach someone about science. I also want to be a reflection of God's love through the things that I do, and so if I am able to be present for my students when they need someone to be present, when they need someone to love them, I can show at least a little bit of God's love through me. I am nowhere near showing a big portion of that because I am me and God is God. But, so I guess what I'm saying, my dream job would be if I could make videos about teaching people through the stuff that I like to do through Minecraft. And I do actually like being in person with those kids, being there with them, being there for them. That is really cool. I like impacting the lives of others. Yeah. I don't know if that answered your question, but there's your answer. All right, next question. Why did you switch from being a nurse to a school teacher by something? Oh, Okay, so that one is a tough question. Overall, my answer would be I realized that nursing was not my calling. But there is a story to that. So when I went into college, I had two career paths that I was in between. I was in between teaching because I like to help people. I have a servant's heart. I like to serve people. Or I was thinking about nursing. Both the science aspect, teaching-wise science, and nursing-wise science has always been really cool to me, and I love science. And so I thought, well, why don't I go for nursing? Because I can definitely help people, and it pays a little better than teaching. That was one of the main reasons why. And so I went into nursing school. And while I was at nursing school, we had we go for observations. And in observations, we go and see how other people do things. And so one day I'll be with an orthopedic nurse, or I'll be in rehab wing at a hospital. Now keep in mind at this time, this was 2020. Peak COVID year, so they were having us nursing students go help in the hospitals because nursing staff, there was not enough of them. So us nursing students would go and get vitals for the nursing staff and bring them back to the staff so that they could use that through their routines. Anyway, one of the days I was at observation, I was put with an RT, or respiratory therapist, and I was put in a wing that a lot of these patients were unconscious. They were breathing, but they were unconscious, or they couldn't speak for a couple different reasons. And the respiratory therapist, it was going all right. We were going around, and she was showing me with her stethoscope the different lung sounds. There are a lot of lung sounds, and there are crackles and stridor, and you want normal breath sounds, normal lung sounds, but there are some that are not normal that you have to watch out for, and they mean different things. Like there could be liquid in the lungs, or nasal, I can't remember the word for it now. But anyway, she was showing me around and showing me her routine. And as the respiratory therapist, one of the patients was on a ventilator. And a ventilator, all it does is basically helps the patient breathe. And she knew that she had to switch out the ventilator because every so often you're required to switch out the ventilator for safety reasons. And so she had me bag the patient. Now, if you don't know what bagging the patient is, it's where you have to manually breathe for the patient. You put if you ever seen what an ambulance, they'll have these little balloon-looking things that they put over the mouth and the nose. When you squeeze that little contraption there, that's called a bag. So when I say bagging the patient, I mean I was manually breathing for this patient, not, putting a bag over their head. No. I was bagging the patient, having them breathe. I was giving them air when they couldn't themselves. And so this probably went on for probably only like 2 minutes, but for me it felt like forever because when people breathe, it's not a steady pattern. You have to try and find their pattern. And so while bagging this patient, I realized that this person was in my hands. If I messed up, they may not live. And in nursing, you have to have a fast brain. You have to be able to make decisions fast that will affect the patient. And I'm not good under that kind of stress. And so I switched from nursing to teaching. That is why I switched from nursing to teaching. Next question. How would you rate your first year as a teacher on a scale of 1 to 10? And also, would you ever quit being a teacher if your channel got big enough? By XL Cheesy Burrito. Good question. If I had to put it on a scale from 1 to 10, I think I would put it at a 7. Because I made several mistakes that I can learn from, but I really, really, really love the students that I had. And I did enjoy the year overall. It was tough. Do not get me wrong. It was tough. Teaching middle school is tough. But I love my students and I would do it again in a heartbeat. Now, if my channel got big, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it will get big. I don't think I'm entertaining enough, but that's okay. I don't need it to get huge. I do it because I want people to smile, and it makes me smile, and I like to spread that joy. But do I think I'll ever stop teaching if my channel gets big enough? No. No, I like teaching way too much, and I love my students. Now, I do love y'all as well, but there's just something about that face-to-face, personal relationship that I would miss if I just went to YouTube. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Ooh, worst school story by Super Simple Name. Oh, okay. So this was when I was in middle school. And when I was in middle school, I have to give you a little bit of background to this. I was a lone wolf type person. I had one best friend in middle school, and that was it. Everyone else around me didn't really care for me, student-wise. And most of the time, the students in my class were very snobby and cared about themselves. Anyway, that's your background. So there was this one time in gym class. When we did gym, it was just girls in the class, and so we had to do mountain climbers, which are basically planks, but your feet move forward and backward. So we were split into two we each had a partner. So one was doing mountain climbers, and the other was running across the gym floor, and then when we got back, we had to do, I think it was 20 high knees. And then we would switch. And we had to continue doing this until the PE coach told us to stop. And so I was one of those people that I would always get picked last, and unfortunately for me, my partner was somebody that I did not get along with, and she didn't get along with me. And I always think about other people, I don't think about myself. And so I was thinking the entire time, I gotta go fast, I can't let her just be waiting here for me. And I hated gym class in general. So she was doing the mountain climbers, and I ran across the gym, and then I was doing high knees. But I didn't realize that we were supposed to do high knees, because the coach kind of showed us what to do. It was like a high knee, but you turned your foot in toward your body. And so with that, trying to go fast and doing these high knees, but twisting my leg inside, to the inside of my body, I ended up going a little too fast and landed directly on the side of my foot, and I collapsed to the ground. Now, all the other girls around me, this was like all middle school girls, so 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade girls, all in the gym at the same time, were, at first, they were like, come on, get up, get up. And then it started to turn from encouragement to more yelling and negative yelling. I could not get up. My foot hurt severely, and so the coach helped me get up and go to the bleachers. Meanwhile, all of the other girls that were still doing the activity were glaring at me from the side as if I was lying about my injury. To make things worse, after gym class, I tried to ask a couple girls if they would go get my bag from the locker room. None of them did. So I hobbled myself, hopping on one foot, trying not to land on my hurt foot, to the locker room, grabbed my stuff, and I went back out. My mom was in the front at this point, and so we went to the doctor. I broke 3 toes, and I came to school in crutches the next day. Some of the girls, all of them noticed that I was in crutches, but some of them were like, I am so sorry. I didn't realize that you actually broke something. I apologize. But most of them did not. Anyway, that was my second worst school story. I won't be telling my worst one. Unless y'all want me to. It goes along with my testimony. So if you want to hear my testimony, then put it in the comments and I'll tell you. But this one works. Alright, next question. Do you believe in God? By super simple name. I'll give you my short answer and then I'll give you my long answer. My short answer is yes. I believe in God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit, 3 in 1. I am a child of God, a Christian. Goodness gracious, I cannot speak. I love God and He loves me because God is love. We can find that in 1 John 4:8. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. One of my favorite verses. Now, when I say love, let me define the love I'm trying to talk about here. I think it gets overused and the definition loses its worth. And so you'll hear some people say, I love Chick-fil-A, I love to play, I love to draw. And these may be true, but that's not the kind of love that I'm talking about. The kind of love I'm talking about is the sacrificial love. And this is the love that I tried to live by, but of course I fall short because I am a sinner and I am a sinful person. But here's my definition of love. This is also found in 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8a, my favorite verses of the Bible. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. Now, putting this together with the 1 John verse, saying that God is love, this verse can then be read as, when you switch the words out with words love with God and it with He, God is patient, God is kind, He does not envy, He does not boast, He is not proud, He does not dishonor others, He is not self-seeking, He is not easily angered, He keeps no record of wrongs. God does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. He always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. God never fails. And we can see this kind of love in the story of the gospel, or the good news. God loved and loves us so much that He sent His one and only Son to die on a cross for us. We can find this in John 3:16. This is sacrificial love. Think of a sin as a thick goop. that everyone has. Every time we lie, cheat, disobey, think badly about someone else, that goop gets thicker and thicker around us till we drown. Now, Jesus came to earth. He lived on earth. But Jesus is the Son of God. He's 100% God and 100% man. But he didn't sin. He was perfect. Jesus has none of the goop around him. He's the only person that walked the earth. He's the only person that walked on earth that was perfect. Is perfect. Jesus grew up on earth. His whole purpose to come on earth was to come and save us from our sin, or in our illustration, the goop. He came to earth to save us. We need saving because this goop separates us from God. God can't be around sin. So when Jesus died on that cross, he was separated from God because he took all of our sin, all of the goop, from the whole world. Y'all, I used to feel like I was drowning in my sin. Like there was an ocean of goop all around me, and I struggled to stay up. Just imagine Jesus taking all of my goop, your goop, anyone who believes in him, to that cross. Jesus took it all. Not only did he get beaten, spit on, all of that horrible stuff, he also took those sins from us. For 3 days, Jesus was dead. He was separated from God because of that sin. 3 days. But after 3 days, he rose again. He was victorious over death. Jesus paid the price for us. He paid the price for me. Even though I sin every day, God sees me as perfect because Jesus paid the price for me. All I had to do was believe in him. If you feel like you're drowning in sin, go read your Bible. I'd highly suggest reading the gospel books. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. My favorite of these is John, but you can start anywhere. If you wanted to start at the very beginning, you could go to Genesis. If you don't understand or want help, go find a home church. Go find other Christians you can ask. Or if you're wanting to hear about my testimony or how I was saved, put that in the comments. I wouldn't mind sharing. If that means that I get to plant a seed and you get to believe. If you don't get anything else from this, I hope you leave with this. God made you special, and he loves you very much. Now I got one more question. What's your favorite thing about YouTube from a creator's perspective? Also, how would you recommend showing God's character, love to others through content creating? From Music Craft. So, my favorite thing about YouTube as a content creator is the ability to make someone smile. If I can make at least one person smile, I have accomplished my goal of spreading joy. For the most part, I just do YouTube as a hobby. But I also have another goal, which outweighs the other. I want to spread the joy I have to others to point back to God. I want to show God's love through my actions, in and outside of videos. Whether it's me modding for someone, recording with a group, or even in real life. I want others to see my shine for God. I may not shine as much as Jesus because of his personal sacrifice, but I want to shine to let everyone know that I have an overwhelming amount of joy that comes from God, and that they can have that too if they believe. I want others to be like, how are you so nice? How are you always so joyful? How? I'll tell you how. It's because my Heavenly Father, God, is in control and I have nothing to fear. So even when life throws me a million miles per hour, or I end up crying because of hardships, I don't lose hope because God is here with me. And all I really want to do is share that hope, peace, and joy to the people around me. I'm not sure if that answered your question, MusicCraft, but as long as I can show people the joy I have, I want to be able to plant that seed and point them in the right direction. Anyways, y'all, that's all the questions that I got. I hope y'all enjoyed. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And thank you again for the 200 subscribers. Bye.